Welcome to our FedTalks executive video series. We're here with Sam Kapreilian, Principal and Operate Marketplace Leader for Government and Public Services at Deloitte Consulting. Sam, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
My first question for you is, where have you seen notable progress in federal agencies in trying to improve customer experience and service delivery, especially in light of the White House executive order on federal customer experience?
It's a great question. Many federal and state agencies have been struggling to get closer to their customers and their citizens, and the executive order just heightened all of the intensity and aspiration to do so. To be frank, we haven't seen a huge uptake just yet on the executive order. Lots of the agency leaders are talking about it, but in terms of seeing real traction and results, I think those are very much still in process and very early stage.
And then next, the other question is, how do you see federal agencies shifting their larger IT investment strategies, especially heading into this new fiscal year, based on your recent meetings with executives?
Yeah, it's funny you should ask. I had a meeting just this week with 40 senior architects within a large federal agency, and lots of interest and attention around AI and cloud and process automation, systems modernization, and of course, getting closer to their clients. There's some real challenges with talent and working more closely with the business. We heard a lot of that, whereby the concern on behalf of most IT organizations within the government, the concern is not typically around the technology, but it's more around the change management and how the business comes together with them in unison. So one great example is when I was speaking to that group of 40 architects, they were referring to a situation where they had 7 different instances of ServiceNow through various siloed parts of the business. And now there's an effort to consolidate and bring them all together under one. And they cited, and I very much agree, that the biggest challenge there is going to be bringing together these 7 different siloed groups and bringing them together into one set of standardized business processes and ways of doing things. And then implementing the technology piece is easy, but then getting them to actually adopt it and use it, the change management, is also going to be one of their biggest challenges. And I was pleased to hear that they acknowledge that. And another observation is that there's huge aspirations to modernize and to transform, to reduce costs, to get closer to customers. But one of the things we're seeing, and this is kind of a study that we've done over the last 2 years of different RFPs and bids that have been let out to the market, is in many, many cases, I'd say 75% or more of the cases, it's almost the identical RFP that was let 4 or 5 years ago, with a little bit different maybe opening set of paragraphs referring to modernization and innovation. But then what we find is in the scoring mechanisms, those aren't reflected. Those aspirations and wishes are not reflected. And so what we're trying to do a lot is work with procurement officers and leaders within these different agencies to help them understand, look, if these are your goals and aspirations to lower costs, to simplify, to get closer to your customers, put these requirements in your scoring mechanism when you're going to select some of your partners, so you'll actually see some of those results. And that's a big push, and we're very passionate about that topic because the government needs to get better, and I think it wants to get better. We want to help it.
Well, Sam Kapreilian, thank you so much for joining us today here at FedTalks and sharing some of your insights on the market.
Thank you.